Yo, what up guys, beside D here with a new champion guide of a champion who is worth all the hype it gets in Raid Shadow Legends. Whether you're in the early game or all the way to the late game, you will still be able to use this champion in your teams. He's from the Sacred Order faction and his name is Deacon Armstrong. So this champion is best known for the role of being a decreased defense champion in the early game, where just decreased defense is okay, but in the late game where you always want to include it with a weaken, he might not be able to do that. But he's there for you to place decreased defense right here on this A2, which when it lands is a 100% chance to put decreased defense on the enemy team right there. Has a 80% chance of placing decreased defense. You can book up to a 100% chance when you spend epic books on it. This is the skill you really need. Decreased defense is also very important. So except you have somebody else doing it, then this champion will also be useful for this skill right here, which is like a turn meter boost, while at the same time giving you an extra turn to take more turns. It fills the turn meter of all your allies by 15%. At the same time, it pulls back the turn meter of your enemies by 15%. So they get to have their turn meter reduced while you get to get your turn faster before them. So that's awesome right here. And guess what? He also grants an extra turn to himself, or to himself, to now do this skill when he goes in with this one. He will always start the battle with this turn meter decrease and turn meter boosting skill before he goes in with this decrease event skill. So that's something to know about Deacon Armstrong. This will be happening a lot in battle. So it's when you book this skill up, it will be on a 3-turn cooldown. But since it's taking an extra turn, it's really a 2-turn cooldown on this skill. So Deacon Armstrong, that's the two things people use him in. Now, if you're going to be using this champion as your leader slot in most content where you don't have enough speed, he does bring a speed aura of 19%, which is the bigger version that most legendary champions have. He has it on right here as a speed lead aura in all battles, whether it's dragon, whether it's campaign farming, whether it's dungeons. You always want to have this champion in the leader slot if you want to go first, especially in the arena. Also, if you don't yet have an arbiter that can have a 30% aura right here. So that's Deacon Armstrong, an amazing champion. For the A1, he does bring a leech, which is not that useful a lot in raid, but if you're building a clan boss team, this leech will come in handy a lot, so you can heal in a little bit from the damage you deal. All right, that's his skill. Let me quickly head over to how I build this champion. This is an exciting one because I have never used Deacon Armstrong on my account because I already had a War Maiden, so I didn't get him. You have a Terrell and many champions who plays that decreased defense, the most important thing I needed him for. I also had an apothecary who does that turn meter boosting and stuff, so I have champions who could fill that role. Right, so I never really built a Deacon Armstrong until today for this video, and the only time I built him was at level 50, and I took this champion to 50 and put a stun set on him in the early game that helped me beat faction wars. So that's what I used in, because faction wars, you want to go in there with champions who have stun sets to keep those enemy at bay so they cannot move, and you can do all your big hits and all that stuff. So that's how I built him in the early game, but today I revamped this gear. I didn't see any need to put him in any other sets. Even if I no longer use him for that, just that faction war purpose, he can now be a general champion in raid. I just feel like stun set best suits this champion. But if you're new to raid, if you're like a month into the game, few months, 3 months, and so don't worry about stun set. That's Fire Knight gear. You're not yet farming the Fire Knight. What's the best gear for you to put on this champion, Deacon Armstrong? The best thing you should know about him is that he does need accuracy on both of his skills. To make this happen, he needs accuracy. To make this happen, accuracy is needed to decrease the turn meter of the enemies also. So what does that tell you? For the early game, the accuracy set is a simple way to go. If you have it by then, this set can go help you make that accuracy requirement possible. And also, when you started farming some faction wars, you now be able to get some of this set. Where is it? Perception set. That's what I'm looking for. Did I scroll past it? Stone skin, no. Perception set right there. So this is also going to give him a lot of accuracy and some speed, because that's what perception does. It does have some speed added to the accuracy that it adds. So this is a better way to go for him than just accuracy set, right? So if you do have perception set, he's the champion to put it on. That's the only thing it requires from you: accuracy and speed. Now, as a debuffer in raid, you don't want him going second before your nukers go, right? You want him going there, placing decreased defense, pulling the atometer back, so that your other damage dealers can now go in for the big nukes. You want him to land that decreased defense right here before anybody else goes in for the big nukes. That's why you need that speed on him. Without him going first, it's just not going to be a slower battle. So you need this champion to be faster than your nuker, at least. So others can be faster than him and all that, but whenever your nuker wants to take a turn, he should place that decreased defense first before your nuker goes in for the big nukes. So that's the basic set you need on him for beginner players. Accuracy set, maybe triple speed set that has some accuracy banner or a accuracy chest might also work. You can mix it along as long as you meet the accuracy threshold for the content you are trying to beat. So how many accuracy you need on your Deacon, that's what you're wondering. If you're going to be using him on dungeon 1 to 20, just think about 10 accuracy per level. So if you're hitting dungeon 20, you need about 200 accuracy, 220 accuracy right there. So if you're going to be hitting dungeon 25 and so on, you need just add 10 more, 20 more accuracy. For for clan boss, also the accuracy requirement depends on the level you're trying to beat. Check out Hale's Rage Stages 2 to find out how much accuracy the boss you're trying to beat has before you put that much accuracy on him. But a banner will normally do it, or add some subset of accuracy, and you make it happen. All right, that's the best set for beginner players. Now let me focus on the end game content a little bit. Stun set is the end game content, best set for you to have on your Deacon, and I'm looking for which other one can I put on Deacon to make him a little bit more useful in the game. I think that's it. Immortal set, no, I can't really recommend anyone besides just put a speed set on him, put a perception set on him, or put an accuracy set on him for the end game. I'd like to know in the comments if you have your Deacon in any other set that is crazy good. Now you notice I didn't say anything about damage on this champion, right? I didn't focus on crit rate, I didn't focus on crit damage. You can see me going defense right here, defense. This is even a flat defense. I only put it on him because he had triple speed roll right there to give me the accuracy, the speed I need. Accuracy and speed subset right here. Speed, no accuracy right here, a little bit of resistance. Speed, crit rate not even needed, but HP. So I was just looking for whatever in speed right here, and accuracy banner, HP, accuracy triple roll, and HP defense. So he's trying to survive. He's not built for damage. I didn't go crit damage glove or crit rate glove, but maybe some people can do that, but I didn't want to build this champion for damage. I wanted him to survive. I've not taken the rest of this gear to 16 because I want to save that for an artifact enhancement. But for a total stat, I'm looking at about maybe 55k HP when I max out my gear, and about 360 to 3800 defense. Those are the two stats he needs to survive, but those are just basic stats. The first thing you should look at is my accuracy is 384. That's more than enough I need for any dungeon 20 to 25 content, because this is end game gear, right? But if you can get to that 200 mark for dungeon 20 content, you're good. If you're doing Ultra Nightmare with Deacon or Nightmare, maybe 200 to 250 accuracy is needed right there. As for Doom Tower content, where I plan to test this champion out in this video so you can see him, how he works in that content, I need this amount of accuracy for that Doom Tower content, right? Their resistance is high on that Doom Tower hard content. For normal, you might not need this amount. I wasn't trying to get any resistance on him, but it just turns out that the artifacts I do have over up to 200 resistance. This champion can also work in PvP content. Therefore, maybe this might come in handy, especially for 3v3 content. If you don't have one other champion right there to be in the leader slot of a speed booster and turn meter boosting and turn meter reduction champion. Crit rate 38%. Like I said, I wasn't trying to make it to 100. And then crit damage, nothing to speak about. But check out that speed right there. Almost as fast as some people's arbiter. So yes, this champion can be faster than an arbiter sometimes if you don't build your arbiter right, or if you've not been getting good speed sets. So I'm faster than some beginner arbiters because I'm not even running triple speed stuff. I'm just doing speed from all the substats, and that's how I was able to get to that high amount of speed. I'm really impressed by this speed. Why am I going this fast in this Deacon? Because the one content that he's still useful very much in the Doom Tower is that boss Dark Fae that requires you to control her turn meter or even control your own enemy Miro team. And that's where he works in auto teams. Usually Lysandra or Deacon Armstrong walks in right there, decreases the turn meter of the Miro team, and then goes in there and takes time to nuke them. So he works right there in this high amount of speed. That's why I put him this high, so that the boss will not just take turn before he gets a turn, to make everybody take their own turn. So that's why. But 220 speed is fine if you're a beginner. 200 speed as long as he gets to go before your nukers. All right, that's my Deacon build for his masteries. Blessing. You want to go with your normal commanding present mastery to help your teammates out right there, to strengthen the aura if he's in the leader slot, if nobody else on your team already have these masteries. If somebody already has these masteries, then maybe what's the next best one? Cruelty will work, because he usually uses champion against bosses, right, and long battles. So that's it right there. Those are the two I would recommend, either commanding presence or cruelty. But let me know which blessing you have on your Deacon. For masteries, it's pretty straightforward. Deacon will, although he's kind of a support champion, he does add a little bit of damage to the battle by having War Master Mastery selected. So this will help him do a little bit of damage, contribute a little bit, not too much, a little bit from this War Master hits right here. That's the only way he will be doing damage in this battle. And what else is important right here on him is this one that increases duration of all debuff that he casts. So decrease defense can be, the duration can be increased, and then the leech, the duration can also be increased. A chance though, 30% chance of increasing the duration. Another mastery that is kind of important on him is this one that increases any chance that he will land artifacts. This is a very important. Well, it will not increase the duration of the chance of stun, but it will increase the chance that he will land that A1 leech, I guess. So that's something to note. But for the stun sets, you normally want to go towards this way, fearsome presence, right? Increase the chance for a 5% extra chance to land that stun. But that's what is good on him. You see me going towards this side to, as the debuffs expire, he will, increase his stun meter. So I want him to get that fast and get sumo returns. This is also awesome on him. As if the decreased defense he's doing on the enemies is not enough. If he's gonna be the first one to hit them, well, that's really, it's not a hit. But this will also decrease the stun meter of the enemy when he hits them for the first time. It's an AoE skill, so it will be a 5% stun meter decrease on the enemy. So it's a champion who needs accuracy, so this is important, this is important, this is important, the three, and then any other thing. I don't think he needs all this HP, this area. So that's the basic mastery for Deacon. Go towards accuracy, get turn meter, a little bit of more turn meter decrease, and then increase duration of your debuff. Then War Master. Those are the important masteries on him. I've never really seen him going towards the defense tree, but if you find some reason to go towards there, I don't think it's viable for Deacon, for a champion who needs accuracy. All right, that's his masteries, that's his artifact. It's time for us to head into battle and test Deacon Armstrong in the first content that I want to show him off right now, so you have a basic understanding of what this champion does for the team. I'll put him in Dragon 20 and test him out with a basic team like this that I put together. Yes, this is a basic team. And although he's in a stun set, what's her name? She's also in a stun set, and I don't want her confusing you right now. So let me take her out. Although he's a negative affinity champion right here, let me do him at 19, so it's not a negative affinity. So we'll actually see the full effect of this champion in the battle. I still don't want her because she's in a stun set. I don't want her doing the stun. I want to see how much stun he will do for the team. That's it. Decrease defense, and one person stunned. That's a low chance, I know, because the stun set is a low chance indeed. Is A1 also stunned? Yes, because that's what the stun set does. So despite him being a decrease defense champion right here, he's also acting as a role of a control champion. Now, if you're early game, obviously you don't have a stun set, you'll be fine with this champion just being a decrease defense champion, and that's it. So that's, I just wanted to show this little demonstration of him. I'm not going to run this battle all the way to the end, but he is there to place that decrease defense and allow your allies to do a little bit more damage. And of course, control the enemy waves. If they didn't get cleansed by this spirit source, they'll all be dead by now, but she did the cleanse and they are stunned, everything fell off. All right, that's also a beginner content. He will be in this role whether you run this champion in the Fire Knight, whether you run him in the Minion, whether you run him in Ice Golem, and of course Spider. This is also a nice place to run him with a Spider along with an Amiga to help him with that Tormentor control, because he definitely cannot do it alone. But maybe he'll be able to stun the Spiderling along with the stun set. What's her name now? Seal the Drake. That would be awesome to watch. But I just wanted to show you some beginner content about how most players will use him. Now, for an endgame player, you're not using him in Clan Boss. Yes, he does work in some Clan Boss teams. Check out Deadwood Jedi's website to see how Deacon can help you with some Clan Boss tunes. It's important to take note of that because he does have that extra ton going for him. So I wanted to show him off in an early beginner, well, more of a Doom Tower hard content, where I'll test out a stage where any stage you find difficult in the Doom Tower. This is what I normally do when I cannot beat those type of stages. I bring in any champion I have in a stun set, and Deacon just became one of them. So let me quickly scroll through and find which champions I do have in a stun set. That's Seal the Drake, one of them. The second champion is this Sylar. Stun set Sylar. Where is she? There she is. Stun set Deacon Armstrong. Where are you? There you are. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. And who else is in a stun set? Second Cold Hearts is in a stun set, I think. Yep. And then I know this is they'll probably die, but this is just a theory to show how I usually use this type of champions. I do have a rare in stun sets. Let me just go to my starter champion. What's his name? My 6-star rare starter champion builds Atel. Where is my Atel? There she is. All right. Instead of Apothecary, I'll go with this champion. All right. So they're all in a stun set. So if the battle is a little bit difficult for me, I'll put Deacon in the leader slot, of course. And I keep dying. One of those waves that if you let them take a turn, they will kill you, right? You find a lot of such flaws in the Doom Tower hard. I'm not saying you must use rares and all that. You can have epics or who have a stun set, but I have these champions all in stun set. And let me show you an example of how I can make sure the enemies never get a turn. With these champions all in a stun set, they will make sure that these enemies stay stunned. That's one stunned. And they will make sure these enemies don't get a turn. Turn meter decreased. That's 2 stunned. That's 3 stunned. That's 4 and 5 stun. That's it. It's so awesome. I don't care if it's the Sifi, Rotos, all of them. Any champion that you know that once they get a turn, it's over for you. Bring in a bunch of stun champions like this and you get through that Doom Tower wave. This is usually working for the waves. It's not for boss content. It's for those difficult waves at the highest level. Even my Atel is in a stun set. So that's awesome to watch. Let me see if I can leave it on auto and see what happens. I'll not play it all the way to the end, of course. I just wanted to demonstrate this, where a Deacon can be one of those champions that can facilitate this along with other champions who are also in a stun set. Sylar, so he works well like them in a stun set because of his AoE skill, mostly on that A2 and A3. All right, throughout the battle, nobody's getting a turn. None of them are moving. So whether it's in the beginner stage and the end stage, this will work. Remember, these Doom Tower waves still stunned. Deacon A1 powerful stun. The Doom Tower waves, even if you don't have enough accuracy, a stun set will still make sure your stun lands. It's kind of important to take note of that. You don't necessarily need enough stun. So that's the content I wanted to show Deacon in early game. Awesome champion to have in the leader slot. Before I end it though, let me head over to the arena and maybe battle 1 or 2 teams and see how we can do. He might be slow against an arbiter, so I'll put an arbiter in the leader slot. So even if you don't have a necrate, you can have any champion right there. Who can I put instead of where all right, let's do it like this. So once my arbiter gets a turn, my Deacon will down, go in there, right there. See? and he will decrease the turn meter, decrease defense, and boom. That's how it goes. So Deacon is awesome champion to use all in the early game. Even if you don't have an arbiter yet, use him as your leader's champion in PvP content. And yeah, let me show right this. So you can have him in your leader slot with all other champions following up. Of course, make sure you have something of a control, whether it's a provoke or a stunner or another stunner, or a nuker. Just go in there and clear them out before they get a turn, because that's what a speed team is all about. So that's my showcase for Deacon Armstrong, a champion who I didn't appreciate in the early game, but for Faction Wars he really helped me. Yeah, Secret Order is even open right now. Let me see if he's still in my team. He's no longer in my team because I didn't have him built. But right now that I have him built, there's no reason for me to have Lodric right here. He should be the champion in the leader slot, because I have him at 60 now. I have him at 50, he wasn't there, but right now I have him at 60, so it will be much easier to even get through this Secret Order waves with Deacon in the leader slot. Of course, I will not run it to the end. Let's just do a sample run and see before I go in there and end this battle, or end this video right now. Let's see. Stun. Yes, one stunned. I still have my starter champion Ethel in a stun set, so she might also do her stun. So it's all about controlling the waves and placing that decreased defense and making sure this battle nobody goes down. So Deacon Armstrong, a champion, like I said, that is what all the hype he gets in Raid Shadow Legends, one that can serve you in the early game in Raid, in a speed set, in an accuracy set, in a perception set, or in the end game in a stun set. You even find him in some Hydra content, in some clan boss content, like I said, but I'm not using him for that content, so I can't show him off in that content. You need specific speed tunes to be around that type of team. Check out the website for that type of team if you want to use Deacon in your clan boss. All right, guys, help me hit like in this video if you find it useful, if you're building out your Deacon, if you finally moved in from a basic beginner set and up to a stun set right now, so it can help you in Doom Tower against wave content and also against the Faction War wave content. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more daily Raid Shadow Legends content. Later, guys.